So I just wanted to go over a little bit more with some samurais. We handed out a pink packet, but I'm going to be doing it on white paper. I just think it's easier to see and to mark up for you. So, all right. So the samurais here are, a samurai just means an overlapping Sudoku. So you can see this is 3 Sudokus overlapping. And I like to just highlight them so you can really see and keep track of what is actually going on in a samurai. So you can see it's actually 3 puzzles, but they do share one of the grids. So what we have going on is this grid is interesting because this grid, I can use details from this column, from these rows, or from these rows and these columns. So let me give you some examples. I'm going to just get a couple pieces of paper so we can cover up what we don't want. All right, so I'm going to work first. The strategy I'm going to teach you first is looking at these shared boxes here, these shared quads. So if I look at this one right here, I am missing numbers 1, then 2, 3, then a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm missing 1, 4, and 6. So I like to just jot down my possibilities because I like to be very thorough, primarily because I'm interrupted so much when I'm doing things, so I have to take really good notes. If you know you're working, pretty isolated, you might be able to skip that step some occasions. So now I know 1, 4, 6 is going to go here. Now I'm going to look at my clues. I'm going to see, is there any clue? Is 1, 4, 6 used in this column here? And it is not. There is 1, 4, 6 is not used. Now I'm going to look in this column here. Is 1, 4, 6 used in this column? No. All right. I'm going to look here. Is 1, 4, 6 used in this column? Yes, there is a 4. If that's a 4, then this cannot be a 4, which reminds me, I didn't peek up here. And if we look up here, there's a 6 there. So if a 6 is there, a 6 cannot go here. So this is a 1. If that's a 1, these cannot be 1s. So one of these is a 4 and one of these is a 6. I can also look at clues by rows. So is there a 4 or a 6 in this row? There is. There's a 4, which means this must be the 6 and this must be the 4. Let me double check. Well, definitely, again, because there's a 6, so that has to be the 4. But I could have also used the different rows this way as clues to double check. And again, I see a 6, so that has to be the 4. So you can see the different clues you have, because I can look at the clues as it is part of the pink Sudoku, or I can look at clues as though it's part of the yellow Sudoku for that box. Let's look at this box down here. I'm going to first focus on pretending that this box is part of this yellow. So I'm going to identify what numbers are missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I'm missing 5, 6, there's 7, and I'm missing an 8, but there's a 9. Sorry, as you can see, I jot them down, 5, 6, and 8. So I know this is now 5, 6, or 8. I'm going to just jot them. All right, so now I'm going to look in this row. Is there a 5, 6, or an 8? Yes, there's a 5 and a 6, which means this must be the 8, which means neither of these can be the 8. Now I look here, is there a 5 or a 6? There is not. Let's look here. Is there a 5 or a 6 in this row? There is a 5, which means this must be the 6, And if that means this must be the 5. And if we look here, 6 and 8 are already used, so we know this is the 5. So we were able to solve that using those clues. Now, if I hadn't been able to get this here, I could have also looked at it as though it was part of the pink Sudoku at the bottom to try to use those clues as well. But I was able to solve it alone. So that is one strategy. I like to start there. Then I would move on to individual puzzles. All right, I want to show you another strategy. We're going to do the yellow one for this strategy. And this is focusing on individual numbers. So, sorry, I'm receiving tons of messages for whatever reason. My phone is going crazy, or my computer. So I'm going to focus right here on 9s. And I'm going to identify where my 9s are. So I have a 9 here. I have a 9 here. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9. All right. Now, there needs to be a 9 in every row, in every column. So I'm going to sort of just mark off. I'm missing one in this row. I've got one there, one there, one there, one there. I'm missing one in this row, one there, one there, one there. I'm only missing 2 9s. And I can already outline about where they are. So now let's look at the columns. I have one there, one there, one there, one there, one there. I'm missing one in this column. I'm missing a 9 in this column. So my 9s are going to be where things cross. So there could be a 9 there. So my 9 has to either go here or here. If this one's already taken, this has to be a 9. Because I need a 9 in this row or this row. And that one's already taken. So it must be here. Now I know I need a 9. This is gone. In this row. And I need this column. Has no 9 in it. But the only row where there's no 9 is this one. So this right here must be the 9. And now I have one 9 in every column. Now, it doesn't always work out. For instance, right now I'm going to do it with 4s, okay? So I've got a 4, a 4, a 4, a 4, a 4. Oh, there's more 4s than I thought. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I'm missing 4s in these 2 columns. And I'm missing 4s in this row. I got one, 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 and this row. So my 4s have to be where they hit. All right. So in this row, I have to have a 4 either here or here. There's only one available. So this must be the 4. And you can't really see the green where you are. So I'll use a pen. Can you see that now? So there's one of my 4s, which means now I need a 4 in this column and here. So this must be the 4. So this is another way to look at these puzzles and try to figure this out. And it's just another strategy of looking at the numbers. All right, so you can try it by numbers. You can try it, looking at the overlaps, and you still have your clues of looking at rows and columns. But in starting it with a Sudoku, starting with a samurai, I would always go for the overlapping parts first because you have so many clues, and then you can use those to help you in other places. And don't forget this number strategy. It's a great one that people often forget about. Have fun solving problems.